Well, hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. And would love for you to just share in the comments where you're from and if you're up early or if where you are is someplace later in the day. It is bright and early, 8 a.m. here Mountain Time in Colorado. And welcome in. Hi, Anne from Minnesota. Welcome in. Welcome in. Let everybody come on in and then we're going to get started. So before we start, I definitely recommend having a journal and a pen or pencil handy or some kind of paper, or even your phone if you like to keep digital notes, but you're going to probably want to take some notes because we're going to do a little contemplative activity and create some intentions for the month of March. So hi, Anita. How are you? Welcome in. Now, you're welcome to ask questions anytime throughout. Just pop them into the chat box, and I think we're going to get started. So welcome into Spring into Vibrant Living. This is a webinar about cleansing. So before we get started, I'm going to chant the student teacher mantra, and I do this before any time I teach, and the mantra ultimately is creating this open space for us to all learn from each other and to call in the great teachers and great beings that we want to be with us while we share all of this information about cleansing. So if you can get comfortable in your seat, you can close your eyes if you want to. Here we go. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviram Karakavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavidvashavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. How. Thank you. And welcome in. Here we go. We're going to get started. Hi, Constance. Welcome in, Kansas City. Love it. So welcome in. So we're going to talk about cleansing. So spring is a great time to cleanse because we all carry a little bit more kapha, which is a dosha or a constitution in Ayurveda. But, you think about winter time, especially I'm in Colorado. So everybody has different seasons, of course, because we're all around the world. But in Colorado, you're not able to get outside as much. It's cold. You tend to eat heavier foods, right? Trying to stay warm. And so as we transition from winter into the springtime, which is coming up soon, daylight savings for those of us who have that in a couple of weeks, which is pretty wild. So as we transition into spring, we want to kind of clear away all of that heavy energy and clear out the body in preparation for spring and summer, which is a very different change for our body. So one of the reasons I love the spring cleanse, and I typically do one in March, which is why we're going to do one as a community in March, is because I love this idea of just kind of that spring cleaning of the body, mind, and spirit as we get into the summer and we transition into being more active, being outside. There's different activities that we're doing. If you have kids, they might be out of school during the summer, so that changes the dynamic. So it's just a nice way to clear out. So what we're going to do today, we're going to talk about cleansing through the lens of the body, mind, and spirit through yoga, Ayurveda, and Carl Jung, which is all about that cleansing of the mind and the shadow. And I've put together a couple of activities for us to do to really become clear about what it is that we want to cleanse this spring. So I'm very excited about that. So we're going to dive right in. So what is Ayurveda? So Ayurveda is the ancient system of medicine that originates from India, okay? And Ayurveda is It offers guidance on cleansing and purification. And the whole premise or concept of Ayurveda, in my experience and my learnings as an Ayurveda coach, is the goal is to live in harmony, your body, mind, and spirit in harmony together in order to achieve your dharma or your life purpose. So when we think about that, and we think about what we want to create, if we're lethargic or low energy, we're not going to be able to create or write or teach or speak or coach, work with others, whatever our sole purpose is. So that creative energy, that Shakti that we want to experience in our body and in our lives, comes from living in a harmonious state. And so in Ayurveda, which is the reason I love it so much, is because Ayurveda is truly about using your intuition, listening to your body, and really creating health through natural means, through diet, through some natural herbs, and through lifestyle. So that's what Ayurveda is. Now, in Ayurveda, there are a few key principles related to cleansing. So the first one is dosha balancing. There are 3 doshas, vata, pitta, and kapha, and all 3 of these doshas or constitutions are really about imbalances or disharmony in the body. There is Panchakarma, which is a comprehensive detox in Ayurveda. So this is a deeper detox. It's not what we're going to be doing in March. It's something you would do if you wanted more of a prescriptive way of cleansing. One of the third principles is dietary cleansing. So Ayurveda emphasizes the importance of diet, and that's what we're going to be focusing on in the month of March. I've created a very easeful support for us to clear out as much or as little, whatever you're ready for the entire month. Another key principle is yoga and pranayama. And we're going to talk more about yoga in just a minute, but pranayama is breathing. So breath to purify. We do this in block therapy. We do this in yoga and meditation. And then yoga, moving the body, using the yoga asana or the postures to improve circulation, to clear out the lymphatic system. And the 5th key principle in Ayurveda for cleansing is mental and spiritual cleansing. There is a connection between the body and the mind. That's what my book is about. That's what I teach as well. When you think of Louise Hay, if you follow her, this idea of there's a metaphysical principle behind the physical experiences. So cultivating positive thoughts, practicing gratitude, self-care, self-love, all those things are part of cleansing. So those are the key principles in Ayurveda. So then if we shift over to yoga, so I'm an alignment yoga teacher, which means that I'm very passionate about form and posture. And the reason being is because it's very challenging for me. And so I've become passionate because the more that I learn the correct way to practice these postures, the more I'm correcting my own posture, my own body. So because I love alignment yoga, I absolutely love one of the founding fathers of yoga and alignment is B.K.S. Iyengar. And Iyengar is a renowned yoga teacher. He has passed. He has kind of 3 components of cleansing: physical cleansing. So using the yoga asana or yoga postures to cleanse and detoxify the body. Circulation, improving digestion, releasing toxins, all of those things that we have come to know, I think, in the Western culture that yoga does. Then there's mental cleansing. So Iyengar talks about the transformative effects of yoga on the mind. And he views yoga or practicing the asanas as a form of a moving meditation because it requires that mental focus, stability, clarity. And then the third one is the spiritual cleansing. So he also acknowledges the spiritual dimension of the yoga practice through sadhana or spiritual practice, where you can deepen your connection to your inner self through the yoga practice. And I want to share this beautiful quote from Iyengar. He says, "The body is your temple. Keep it pure and clean for your soul to reside in." So I'll share that one more time. B.K.S. Iyengar, "The body is your temple. Keep it clean and pure for your soul to reside in." And it's quite a thing to think about, if our bodies are asleep, just like our consciousness is asleep, there's a disharmony. Things are not working in that frequency or that vibration. And for those of us in the community, and for those of you who've been in my community for a while, we talk about our frequency. And cleansing our body, mind, and spirit truly raises our frequency, or the vibration of our own body. And that creates more awakening, more conscious awareness. One of my awakenings, which I've talked about in some of my writings and share in my book, is, when I put my hands on my body and really realized how much weight I had gained, how I was feeling, right? To see yourself can be very powerful and can be the very catalyst you need to clear out that physical space. Okay, so now let's talk about cleansing the psyche. So Carl Jung is the founder, I think, of shadow work in so many ways. He really isn't, but he brought a lot of that forward in the Western culture. And he was a Swiss psychiatrist, and he was the founder of analytical psychology, which is, for someone like me, my favorite thing in the world. And he talked about cleansing in 4 ways. So the first is individuation. So Carl Jung had this concept of individuation, and it really is this idea of integrating your conscious and unconscious aspects of your psyche to achieve wholeness. So this is about seeing your shadow. Now, I don't even know, probably 30 videos on YouTube about the shadow, and all of my work with Julie Hoyle, who I think is at the forefront of shadow work. So if you haven't connected with her or checked out these videos on my Buddhist Biohacker podcast, I highly recommend it, because you can go down a huge rabbit hole when it comes to shadow work. But it's the idea of bringing unconscious parts to consciousness. Oh, and there's Cauldron. If you haven't met my little Cauldron, there she is right there. She is my sweet little tuxedo cat. So Cauldron's coming to visit us. And I think it's ironic that Cauldron, my black cat, is coming to visit us while I talk about shadow work. So here she is. Anyways, so this idea of bringing the unconscious parts to consciousness creates wholeness. And, we don't have enough time today to get into all of it, but I highly recommend diving into this. But it's part of cleansing, because cleansing in the Jungian sense involves bringing shadow elements into conscious awareness and integrating them rather than denying them. Another piece of Carl Jung's work is the archetypal symbols, known as the hero's journey. For those of you who read Tarot, it's the fool's journey. So cleansing can be seen as a symbolic death and rebirth. So this is this process, or this idea of shedding old patterns, beliefs, and identities to make way for new growth and development. And what a great time, the month of March, to have this focus of kind of clearing away all of that old garbage energy and bringing yourself into a new space and having a new chapter. The third key principle of Carl Jung's vision of cleansing is active imagination. So Carl Jung really advocated for the practice of active imagination to access your psyche. So you can actually facilitate psychological cleansing by bringing to light unconscious conflicts, traumas, unresolved issues through just having a dialogue with your unconscious mind. And we're going to do an activity like this today with our meditation that I'm going to take us through, or more of a contemplative practice, to really have that dialogue with your subconscious and your unconscious mind to see what is there to be revealed and to be cleansed. What does that look like? And then the fourth one is spiritual dimensions. So, what I love about Carl Jung is that he recognized the importance of spirituality in this process of healing the mind. That as we work with the shadow, as we look at those unconscious parts of ourselves, that we may experience our own spiritual awakening, our own transformation. And so cleansing from the Jungian perspective involves the purification of the soul or the spirit so that you can become more authentic and have more meaning in your life. And so when you think of Ayurveda and yoga and the shadow work or Jungian philosophy, really the goal is the same with all three components. It's about utilizing these tools and resources that are given to us by these, somewhat ancient understandings all the way to more present time with Carl Jung, to bring ourselves into a new place of healing, a new space of understanding the self, so that we have more creative energy. We have our consciousness has expanded, and we're able to live a happier and healthier life. So my March cleanse focus is very holistic and integrates all of these ideas, meaning I want to work with the body, the mind, and the spirit to cleanse ourselves, to purify ourselves, and raise our frequency by the end of the month. And so that's really the intention for the March cleanse, is to raise our vibes. Like, let's get some high vibes. Let's clear out the garbage. And for some of you, it may be very physical. It may be that it's very diet focused and nutrition focused, and you're clearing out the body. And for some of us, it may be very psychological. It may be clearing out grief or clearing out anger or anything that is sitting in our energetic field. So it can be a combination of these things. So let's go into a little activity, and I'll throw it out there. If you do have questions, please put them into the chat. And for those of you who watch this in a replay later, please put the comments down. I'd love to still answer questions and connect. So questions anytime. So let's talk about cleansing, and let's do a little activity. So when we think of Ayurveda, Iyengar's yoga philosophy, and Carl Jung's psychological insights, cleansing is way more than just detoxing your physical body. It's about purifying the body, mind, and spirit, and recognizing that in order to have complete wellness, holistic well-being, that there's an interconnectedness between the three. So I'd like you to just take a moment, connect in with yourself, close your eyes, give ourselves a little meditation music. And I'd love for you to place your hands on your body. Now, I invite you to place your hands in a place you want to ignore. For me, it's my stomach. Maybe it's your heart, maybe it's your head, wherever it is, places that you typically would steer yourself away from. Place your hands on your body, and let's begin by acknowledging our body. Our body, the vessel through which we experience existence. And where has your body been signaling you that it's out of balance? It could be a whisper or a shout. Take a moment to consider the foods you consume, the movements you engage in, and the care you offer your body. Now shift your observation inward to the landscape of your mind. Take a moment to note the patterns of thought, your emotions. What is the quality of your mental terrain? Are there cluttered corners of the mind that call for clearing? What beliefs or stories are you telling yourself that no longer serve you? Now shift your awareness to your spirit, your essence. Where are there unresolved wounds that linger? What is calling to be healed? Take a few deep breaths together with your eyes still closed. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Again, breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. This time, third and final breath, seal the lips, shifting to Ujjayi pranayama breath, and breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And drop in to the heart. Feel your meditation deepening. Come into the heart space. And bring your awareness back to the physical body. So coming back into the physical body, take a moment to scan your body. And just notice not just where you're carrying physical weight, but notice where there is emotional weight. Is your heart heavy? Is the physical weight around the belly anxiety or stress? Take a moment to scan your physical and energetic body and just notice, where do things feel stuck? Where are the joints tight? Where is there stuck energy? Now, gently and carefully flutter the eyes open and grab your journal and take a moment to reflect on your daily habits related to diet, exercise, and self-care. Jot down what you noticed about your body. Where are things stuck? What wants released in the body? I'll give you a couple minutes. Journal any insights or observations that arise regarding what your body is signaling for cleansing or balance. And I invite you to journal and stay quiet, because we'll go back into our meditation and contemplative practice. So I'll give you just a minute here to jot down what's come up for you. Another minute here. You can put your pencils down and close down your eyes, coming back into the self, back into that heart space. Just use your heart as your center to come back into a meditative space. And shift your awareness to your mind. What are your recurring beliefs or patterns that hinder mental clarity? Where are you stuck? Is it self-loathing? How do you beat up on yourself? What do you obsess over? What happens with the mind and your emotions? In Buddhism, they call it destructive emotions: anger, shame, guilt, remorse, sadness, grief. And again, slowly flutter your eyes open and grab your journal and write down what's come up for you. What are these recurring patterns or negative beliefs? Take note of them in your journal. What wants to be released? And perhaps, what do you want to reframe so that it aligns more with your inner truth that you are God's source itself? Just take a moment, jot down what's up for you. And then put your pencils down, close down the eyes, come back into the heart space, dropping into that meditative space. And now we're going to shift our awareness to our spirit, our intuition, and our inner wisdom. I want you to notice any unresolved emotions or past experiences that are weighing on your soul. And take a moment to sit with these feelings and observe with curiosity. Take away the judgment, have compassion for yourself, and just notice what unresolved emotions, what in the past, where do you have righteous anger? And slowly flutter your eyes open and come back to your journal and take a few moments now to write down what came up for you. What are the unresolved emotions or past experiences that you feel have no resolution? Just jot those down. Take a moment to jot those down. Another minute here. Now put your pencils down and take a look at all of the notes. So your body, mind, and spirit, look at all of the notes that you've made. And just reflect on what you've written down and notice if there are any overarching themes or insights that are coming forward for you as you look at this. And then close down your eyes one more time. Close those eyes, return to the present moment. And just take a moment to offer gratitude for these insights today. Perhaps you've gained clarity on what's next for you in your healing journey. And with your eyes still closed, we're going to begin to create an intention or a sankalpa, which is your heart's desire, your true heart's desire. In this practice, specific areas in your body, mind, and spirit have come forward for cleansing or renewal. So place your hands on your heart center and choose a focus, a clear pointed focus on what you want to purify in March. It might be one word, it might be a sentence, but what is your intention? And slowly flutter your eyes open, go back to your journal and write down your intention. What is it that you would like to purify or cleanse in the month of March or spring? And I want to offer some language. So we are creators, we create our life. And so it is a wonderful opening for an intention to say, I choose. And you can even put your name in there. So when I create an intention, I'll say, I, Lisa Marie Gunshore, choose at this time. And I often ask the universe to create an opening. So I might say, I, Lisa Marie Gunshore, choose at this time to create an opening to purify X. So that's one example. You could use create. I, Lisa Marie Gunshore, am creating an opportunity to cleanse XYZ. So I just want you to think about your language, because when we create an intention, it isn't just about affirming something, that works too. We can affirm, or declare, I have cleansed X or whatever. But I often think, we're such a work in progress. And so for me, I think choosing or creating or opening, I'm creating space to release, right? So I invite you to think about your language as you create your intention for your cleanse. And it could be very simple. For me, I've been thinking about what I want to cleanse in March. And for me, it's just a lot of stuck energy, a lot of stuck energy from unresolved stuff from my past. There's a lot of unresolved things that I have anger about that I want to clear away. And every time I choose to eat something healthy and clean, every time I practice yoga or take a walk, that will be my intention for the entire month of March, as this purification process to clear away that stuck energy. So I'm going to be quiet for about a minute or two here and let you just formulate some of your notes. And it's okay to take away from this class today and continue to work on your intention. And it might take a few days. This is part of why we're doing, I'm offering this today, about a week before the month starts, because I want to give all of us time and space to really think through what it is we want to release when we kick things off on March 1st. So I'll be quiet and take a moment to formulate your thoughts. Okay, so put your pencils down and come out of the space. And for those of you who are here live, I'd love for you to share in the comments what came up for you, where you're at. I'd love to hear. And for those of you who watch the replay later, same thing. I'd love to hear everyone's intentions. And as we share our intentions, we're speaking them out into the universe. We can all come together and hold space for each other to heal and purify. So the last portion of today is we have these beautiful intentions. We probably have a laundry list of things we'd like to cleanse out of our space, including some weight. And I want to share with you some of the tools I'll be offering for the month of March. So I offer a seasonal guide every season, and that is free. And it's something that when you join my mailing list, you get the seasonal guide. So the seasonal guide for spring is going to launch on March 1st, and I'm offering some tools because the focus for March will be cleansing. So I just want to share, here is some of the tools, and let me take this banner off so that we can see stuff. So these tools are in my book, Enlightenment Pie. So if you haven't gotten my book yet, it is available everywhere, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, all those things. If you want a hard copy, if you want a digital copy of my book, you can actually buy it directly off my website. It's a whole entire book about how to cleanse and clear the body, and how the physical, emotional, and spiritual work together. And in the book, there are some tools, and these tools I'm going to be offering in my March seasonal guide, because for me, it's more important to offer these tools and resources than it is to earn royalties on a book, because that wasn't really the point of the book. So I want to flip through some of these tools, and hopefully you can see them on the screen. So first off, I have a dosha food guide. So if you're interested in what your Ayurvedic dosha is, and we can talk a little bit about that, I can assist with that, and I have resources for that as well. And this is going to give you a food guide that you can print off and actually take with you to the grocery store if you want support in what to eat or not eat based on your dosha. Now, for March, we're not going to be doing a typical Ayurvedic cleanse with khichdi and clearing out the body in that way. And we're not doing a cleanse with specific supplements or any of those things. All we're going to do in the month of March is eliminate toxic foods, processed foods, and we're going to focus on intuitive diet and conscious eating. And so I've provided for you in these tools a list of what to stick to and what to stay away from. Okay, so I have vegetables. Here's all the fruits, starches. I'm just kind of flipping through this. What to drink, what beverages are good for you, oils and fats, seeds and nuts, all of these wonderful spices that are highlighted for anti-inflammatory properties. And then what to avoid. So this is where the cleansing comes in. We're going to avoid soy and whey proteins and dairy. Those cause major inflammation. You can have fresh goat or sheep's milk, but if you can just cut out all the dairy for the month, that would be good. Coconut milk and yogurt can be eaten in moderation. So you have a couple of dairy options here, but we really want to avoid dairy and soy. And we're also going to cut out sugar. So if you follow the food list that I've provided here, you're going to stay away from sugar and heavy starchy foods like white potatoes. So this entire intuitive diet that I have built is an integration of the mold diet, the candida diet, paleo, anti-inflammatory. It's kind of like, if you want to clear all the garbage out, stick to this diet, and it kind of hits all the markers. And I did that because I felt like it was really complicated to try to eat when I had parasites and I was clearing out candida. And later, a few years later, I cleared out mold. And there's all these rules. And so I took all the rules and created one uniform diet plan so that you can just clear it away. Also, while I offer functional testing, if you want to test for mold, candida, parasites, allergies, cost. And for me, it was quite an expense to do that testing for myself. So this kind of removes that option. So for those of you who are on a budget, this is a great thing because you're going to get these tools for free. And if you can follow the diet and really cut these things out, you don't even need to test for candida because you're going to be able to clear out the candida just by following this. So hopefully that makes sense. I do have an intuitive diet plan. So if you want to some support, that's here. I have some meal planning tips if you want that. I also have some ways to hack your meal planning if you want to try something a little different. And then I actually created for all of you when I revised Enlightenment Pie, a grocery list that you can print off, and no joke, just take this one pager to the grocery store. Because if you're anything like me, this is great because I can take this to the grocery store and I don't have to think, oh, was I allowed to have that or not have that or whatever? It's all here. It's like, oh, I can pick from any of these things. I also have natural detoxification techniques. So how to do dry brushing, self-massage, tongue scraping, what to do there. I also have some biohacking in here. If you do want to add some supplementation, that is here as well. recipe to make your own electrolyte water. And then I have a lymphatic flush and flow. So these yoga postures are what you can do to clear out your lymphatic system. So I have those here as well. So this entire guide is going to be free again for all of you. And it is also in my book. So if you have my book or you decide to buy it, it's in there as well. So that is the plan for March. So the most important part was the first 40 minutes of this call, which is we want to understand what our intention is, what's up for us, what we want to clear away. Then my guide will give you the tools to really clear out your diet, your body for the month of March and really clear it away. In addition to that, of course, I'll be sharing my own experiences on social media and just connecting in with all of you. So last but not least, if you are in my student membership community, we have a private community that's not censored. And Anne, I will answer your question in just a second. I see it there. That private community will be doing some things in there. And then I teach, my classes are all live streamed in there every week. So we'll have some sacred practice and block and yoga classes, and I'll be answering your questions. I have recipes that are available, all of those things. So Anne's question is, where do we sign up on your website? So when you go to my website, lisamgunshore.com, all you are going to do, there should be a pop-up that says, join my list to get my winter guide. You just sign up on there. If for some reason that pop-up doesn't come up, you can email hello@lisamgunshore.com and share that you would like to get on the list and receive the free guide. Now, if you join right now, you also are going to get the free winter guide that's already out. And what I would recommend is getting on the list, because I will launch the guide on the 1st and you'll be able to download it first thing in the morning as soon as that comes out. Hold on here. Let me pull this up. So if you're ready to cleanse, all you have to do is join my list, download my guide on the 1st, and then follow me on my socials. I primarily am active on YouTube and Instagram. I am on everything else, but I'm not on there very much because it's just too hard to manage all of that and also teach. And then you can also join my student membership if you want to receive all the resources and tools, plus be part of the private community. And that, again, my student membership, it's only $33.99 a month, and you have all of my classes. There's over 1,200 videos. There's courses, classes, live streams, sacred practice, the private community, recipes, resources. I mean, it's endless what's available. All of the courses on my website are included in that rather than buying them individually. So I highly recommend that as well. And again, I'll just share, if for some reason the pop-up doesn't pop up for you, you can email hello@lisamgunshore.com and ask to be put on the list for the spring guide for the cleanse. My intention, my sankalpa and intention, is to share as much resources and tools with all of you through the entire month of March, so that we can really stay focused on our intentions and where we're headed. And in the private community, I'll certainly be connecting with each of you. We'll have a spot where you can share your intentions and we can get connected as well. Oh, perfect. So Anne, pop-up didn't work. Use the contact section. That works just fine. So you can do that as well. So yeah, so if you want to cleanse, you've got about a week to contemplate what you want to clear out and decide if you want to commit to a 31-day clearing out of all the garbage. I need it. And so it's going to help me to support you because it also supports me. You know, we all work together. It's that flower mandala where all these individual petals, but the petals make up the flower, and that's what we're doing here. So really, really appreciate all of you who joined me live today, and absolutely all of you who watch this later. Wonderful to see you as well. And sit with your intentions, and I'd love for you to share them with me. If you're in the Buddhist Biohacker portal in the student membership, please share your intentions on that main feed if you want to. You can also private message me on there. I'm happy to connect with you. And if you're here on YouTube or Instagram or anything, you can share on there as well. So much love to all of you. Let me stop sharing this and let's get all this stuff off, and we'll do a little closing. And yes, the replay will come via email, as well as an article that I've written that outlines all of the information I shared about Ayurveda and yoga and Jungian philosophy. So you'll have the ability to read and also watch and go through this again. And thank you, Anne. I'm so glad that you loved this. It's a great way to kick off the weekend. And again, just so much love to each and every one of you. So we'll just kind of close. I think let's just put our hands on our heart, close our eyes for just a minute. Let's take 3 cleansing breaths together. So let's breathe in through the nose. And let's really let it out. Just let it all out. Let all this out. Deep breath in. Release out. One more time. Breathe in. Release out. And bring your chin to your chest. Feel the stretch at the back of the neck. Slowly flutter your eyes open, coming back to center. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How. Have a beautiful week, and I look forward to us kicking off cleansing and raising our frequency on March 1st. I love you all. Bye.